Yo, hey guys, it's me again, and welcome to the Dread Fun Podcast. Uh, I'm the host, with the most and the least. But that's besides the point. Let's drive this podcast home. Yes, I did set up as I was driving, but there was a straight section, and I just wanted to record. So, because I'm trying to get one episode a week, trying to do it on time. I'm not doing great at it, but I'm trying. So I've been, and yeah, this is controversial. Maybe in the future this will lose me people or gain me fans. I don't know, but generally speaking, I like AI. I like the videos, the goofs, and whatever. And lots of people did. That's the thing. You don't really think about or remember. But like even the simple stuff where it's like what was it like the president's gaming crap where it was like Obama, Biden, and Trump, and they were like playing COD or something, and they were like trash talking each other and stuff like that was AI, right? Like, I mean, maybe you string the words together yourself or something if they said it out enough of those things, but like, then you have to get like, because I think their mouths actually moved like it was normal or something. So I don't know. There's some level of something in there. As well as like everyone was laughing at like the what was it, the Will Smith spaghetti stuff. Um, and I don't know. I've just been really interested in it, and I've had a lot of ideas, and I've been trying to actually write down some of my ideas because, you know, yeah, when you have an idea, if you don't like jot it down or something, it's gone. And I have a lot of time to think and come up with ideas. So I've come up with quite a few ideas. I've been inspired by a lot of stuff, and well, I don't really have the stuff for to actually do any AI. That I need to save money for it, um, credits and stuff, and what have you. Not that I fully understand how to use it just yet, but I'm trying to pick up on that. I took IT class for 2 years, and I took like a robotics lesson plan on a computer before that. And so I'm hoping with all that knowledge somewhere in my brain and a Cisco manual on a bookshelf in my room, hopefully, and like the people who I watch who like do this stuff, I'll be able to figure something out about it. But first thing, I need to save up a crap ton of money and get like a decent computer because I don't have a computer. I have a laptop, and I can't even update it anymore. Like I've uninstalled everything. There's nothing left installed that I can get rid of, and I can't update it. Like how? How is that even possible? I mean, it's only 128 gigabytes, but still, you'd think. And then I'm supposed to plug some, and then I can use a temporary storage device if I to like house some level of data or something. If I like plug in a USB to like the C slot, I don't know where the C slot is, and I might, but it doesn't say that it is. I'm surprised that laptop even still works. I spilled, what was it? I spilled eggnog on it. It was so bad. It wasn't on or anything, but that was sort of like the problem was that it was sideways in its charging thing. Well, I have a case for it, and it was charging in the case, and it fell onto the exposed like side slots, basically. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but it's cloudy everywhere in this, and it's like I don't know, a slight shade of orange, maybe yellow. Today has been very weird. I mean, it was a normal day, but like the sky and stuff is very weird. Like it's supposed to rain later, I think, but it is there is no I cannot see the sky. Like that is how many clouds there are right now. I cannot see the sky. It's one massive cloud, pretty much. Right? Because the sky's supposed to be blue, right? But this, there's mountain ranges in the distance, that are kind of fogged up because of the clouds. That's how bad it is. So that's how you know it's kind of bad. But I don't know. I've been interested in exploring some of my ideas and and some of them wouldn't necessarily be through AI, but some of them are like generally like video based ideas that would require either paying a lot of people a lot of money to get the product I want, which I don't have either of the I don't have the connections for that. I don't have like the wherewithal to be able to describe things properly. I don't have any sort of relevance. I'm a nobody with no money. Basically. With no knowledge, realistically. Um, so I'm just I mean that's what I think AI could be good for. And there are all sorts of, like, it's silly stuff, right? Like, so it's not supposed to be taken super seriously and whatever. I think. I mean, like, the content it is what it is. So it can be serious or not. But I think I want to try it for sure. That's for sure. So I need to get a computer. So I guess this is my start of. Plus, it's like the only thing I really need anymore anyway. Like, I have an Xbox Series X, but I mean, you don't need a PlayStation anymore. Where that news came out, actually. I don't really talk about it. I didn't really see much point in talking about it because it's just like, haha, they suck. Um, but like, I never even had a PlayStation, so I just whatever. And then I don't know. Microsoft has its own issue. Microsoft Xbox has its own issues with like layering off people or whatever. I don't know. Look, I'm just saying the only thing you need right now, and for the foreseeable future, is a PC and a Nintendo Switch 2. And that's only if you care about Nintendo games. But no, I've been having lots of ideas, and sort of like a. So I came up with a new one recently, and it's inspired by like my enjoyment of anime and stuff. And yeah, so it's kind of like anime y. I read a lot of stuff too, right? Like I read Solo Leveling before and so like stuff like that has had a lot of like influence on me since I still do read stuff similar to it. Um, but I'm a broke boy, so I'm not gonna spend my money on stuff. If I have to spend money on it, I'll just wait for the book version, the physical version to come out, then buy the book. You know. So I read all of Solo Leveling, and then there's like the after story stuff I didn't necessarily read all of, and then there's like the sequel series or whatever that I'm like aware of, but like I didn't know if that was like a continuation right off. I All I know is that um, I did not see Solo Leveling Ragnarok anyway, or I had to pay for it. I was like, it's a really good one. It's actually one of the ones I might pay for, but I have no money. I barely have enough money to scrape by, right? So, like, that's basically with the super amount of discounts I have on life at the current moment, right? Because like I'm not like living like I still live with my mother and stuff, and she's planning on moving out so that my rent's going to go up because of that. But I still do actually pay rent, though it's a lot lower than it should be at the current moment. But it's going to go higher once she moves out. She's trying to find a roommate for us, me and my brother, before that happens. But I don't know. And just for safety's sake, I am not going to spoil what my story will be about. But let's just say I like video games, so that's involved. Also, you could say a lot of things were inspired by stuff. I don't know, but it's inspired by stuff that either happened to me personally or like adjacently is something that existed that happened. That's like everything is sort of like not everything, but enough of it is vaguely a parody enough where I can sort of like parody enough of it into something different enough that it fits, but it's something I have experience with for the most part. I honestly, it's gonna get weird later because I'm gonna have to actually think of stuff, but I'm trying to get like a basic storyboard, or so to speak. Right, because I wanna actually know where I'm going with my writing and not just be like, oh, what should I do next? Let's just do this, because I'll just trail on and on and on. I'm really bad with like planning stuff out, which is a lot of times I think why I like forget like the ideas that I have. So you know, of course I gotta perfect that. But I don't know. I have to look into computers, right? But like I'm saving up money generally. But like no, I keep all of my good ideas written down in a physical book, right? So no one's gonna. Well, they could steal that from me, but like it's all like half baked and like like points. Like it's like there's little like they're like 2 sentence like plot points or like specific details or something and like things. So and you'd have to be able to read my handwriting, which is awful, plain awful. But that works out for me. So, and like honestly, I'm getting a lot of ideas for it, like while at work and stuff, and I've been bouncing back and forth to keep things fresh. So like I'm not just stuck on one thing. Because like the thing with like actually writing like a story, like basically like with a couple like not stealing ideas, but like adapting like similar ideas into it. Because I don't want to be stealing. That's bad. But like I feel like inspiration is okay. I mean, some of the greatest works of art and stuff are like inspired by either certain people or actions or something. Why is the cooler outside? Ah, anyway, I think it's gonna rain today, so that's not fun. But at the same time, I'll be inside, so I don't have to deal with it. But oh yeah, I got a sunburn last weekend, so that's been annoying to deal with. But I don't know. I guess it's been feeling better today. I guess. Um, yeah. Oof. Trying to think, but words are hard. um, yeah. So I don't know. It's been interesting, and like I've been bouncing between multiple ideas and stuff for like a bit, and like every time I get a new one, I write it down. But this new one that's video game related. It's not a video game. It's just a story that involves a video game, not a real one, kind of a real one, but not really. Um, Again, no. I think I think it'll be good. I think it'll be. I mean, like it's not gonna go anywhere for like. I don't even know how to do like that publishing thing. I don't even know who you would contact or whatever. Or like I don't know. It feels like it would be better as like you know like a comic book type thing or like a manga or something. But like I have to actually plan it out and then like write like at least get like a story down with like full on like dialogue and writing and stuff and all that. So I don't know. The creative juices needed to flow, and that's the direction they flowed in. Um, Especially since like the the AI stuff that I would want to do a couple of things. Um, that's far out because I have to actually earn money for that while saving money and paying off my car and stuff. So it's tough, but you do what you gotta do. And what I gotta do is this. Oh, I can. There we go. So yeah, it's a whole thing, and I have no idea what I'm getting into, and I'm all over my head, especially because like it's a lot of there's so much world building. Like I have like a couple plot points down for like maybe the first ish bit, but like after that, I had no idea. And if it did get an anime, that's like the I have enough plot points for like one season, maybe. I can stretch it out, maybe. I don't know. I'm terrible when it comes to stretching things out because I'm always straight to the point with it. But then you have to add like not necessarily filler, but like gaps where like stuff happens, but nothing really needs to be said, and you have to. I don't know. Like I'm not. I've never been good at writing or anything. So this is like a new thing for me. And the funny thing is, I started it with writing because I have like a couple booklets here. One's for drawing, and stuff. One's for like actually writing things down, for which I got like a couple story ideas I wanted to do. Yeah, I have like maybe like three, 4 lines and like a bunch of information coming down. like I don't know, cause like I use both sides. So right, I the front has the first story I started thinking of, which I don't know is something I've been thinking of doing for a bit. I don't know, and I don't know. It's like more or less unrelated. And then this other one, it's like it starts at the back side, so the pages are well, the pages are still left to right, but then the pages themselves are like are more or less like a manga where it's right to left page wise, but like not what's on the page is still left to right, if that makes sense. But then like there's all this because I kind of started writing this upside down, which is kind of funny. But I wrote like a bunch of stuff I wanted to do, or like specific plot points I need to remember. I don't know. I don't know if it's probably if it did ever make it, it'd be mid tier trash. But like I don't know. Maybe I'm able to make it something interesting. But it's gonna require a lot of time because like man, they don't ever man like how do people come up with all these systems? I can understand One Piece creators like issues with like remember because you have to develop like a set system of like rules and stuff, and then you have to remember those. Like, I'm just coming up with stuff that sounds interesting, and I'm already like, do I continue now or like can I add on to this later? I don't know. Cause I feel like writing it all down now, and then like maybe some things, cause like it's got to be related to a video game with like a class system, right? And so like sword fighter, whatever, magic user, whatever, right? And so like I'm kind of like how do I get that with how do I like I like ideas for classes like they kind of like exist and stuff already and stuff, and like I have a game I played that I'm sort of like loosely basing it off of, but it's like it's a completely different this game would be completely different genre than the one that I'm thinking of, and it's just like a basic like it's a game I like playing, and it's interesting. So but then like I think like I gotta go look at like stuff like D&D, or like I guess more specifically Baldur's Gate and stuff with like my experiences, and then fantasy life as well, because I'm thinking like I want the miscellaneous class, like you got to be able to do like the crafting classes and stuff like that stuff's you got to have those in there. Those make it interesting, right? Like when you can do like fun odd job classes and stuff. Because I want it to be like there's a class system and then there's like a job system. And then your character never really logs out. They just go do like NPC actions related to their job, which is not their class, right? Jobs and classes are different. Your job can be affected by your class or vice versa, but it's not the same thing, right? Like you could be a blacksmith, but your job could be like, oh, you got to go pick apples or gather herbs or something. I don't know, right? But like maybe you're like a really good sword fighter, so maybe you're like your job is like wandering martial arts guy looking to fight people or whatever. Like the classic like trope or something. Or like you're like a royal guard or like a high tier or maybe you're just a normal guard, right? Like like your character doesn't log out. You just have basic NPC actions when you log out, and you can sort of set you can set what you want to do, but in specific situations, I think like having the job thing that your character do is like you would get like a little bit of money, and then like there's a chance like if like an in game event comes along, maybe something will happen there. Like maybe like because your stats and class and stuff, like maybe you have maybe like your NPC self will be able to like actually do stuff, you know? And like the contrast between like no like cuz obviously when you log back in there'd be like a little brief summary that's like, well, this happened and you got like, this much money for participating in this or like you now have these additional items or whatever. But I don't know. That's just sort of like an interesting world building thing I was thinking about doing. Um, but no, like I definitely have a good idea for like a handful of characters based off of people I've met in games. I guess I don't actually know these people, but like it's a thing. I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. But then I gotta like I don't know. I like doing. I like the names to be different, of course, because like I like I don't know. I don't know these people. I don't need to tell them that I'm thinking about vaguely making characters inspired off of them in like a thing in like a book that may or may never like exist, right? So it's like I'll just like keep the character traits, keep the character classes, keep the whatever they look like in the game, and then just like give them different names and like depending on what they because there's no voice chat. There's just text. So I'll listen to what they say and like I think like last like one of the last things I wrote down in my information section was that like look, when I was adding the people, one of them had basically said something that was very like I don't know, like you wouldn't have won that without me or whatever. And I was like, so they're a little bit of a narcissist, self-important. I wrote self-important, right? Because that like makes sense. And then like I'll find like, and then there's like specific like things others have said at other times that just like, and then I'll make up some people. That'll be making up people is always fun. I'm not good at understanding people, so I don't know how I'll be able to make any of them up, but I'll try. I will. But I think that's all the time I need. So it's been good. It's been a good talk. I've been home for quite a bit. I need to go inside, but my brother's home, so I didn't bother bringing anything inside since I'm still doing this. But yeah, thank you for listening to me on this episode of the Drive Home Podcast. If you liked it, leave a like, and if you didn't, you don't have to. Um, I think you're supposed to ask for people to leave comments, but like I don't know. I mean, you know, if you get, if anyone does listen to this and they do have ideas for like video game world RPG type stuff, leave them in the comments. Comment that. Yeah, comment that kind of stuff. Right? Like the guaranteed there's gonna be like a guild thing and there's gonna be like events. Though I'm not really quite sure. I planned one out more or less, and I think it's gonna be very funny. 'Cause it involves weird people. Like it involves like a gag villainous group, right? Like they're not they're gonna show up every once in a while and be weird and they're gonna get their butts kicked. But they are gonna be imposing a lot of the time because of their sheer numbers. But it's gonna be funny, right? It's gonna be a funny gag, I think, right? So, if you guys have any ideas for stuff, put it in the comments, right? I don't know. No one will get credit. I don't know. Maybe you guys will get credit for it. Maybe if I do ever publish or something or put it online, I don't know. I will. I'll credit people. Like I'm not gonna directly credit you for your ideas. I would just be like, this is the name of the person, and these are all the names of the people who I quote unquote stole ideas from. Not really, because you guys gave them away freely by typing them out, right? But there's a racial systems, there's a class systems, right? So it's kind of already like Baldur's Gate or like D&D and stuff, right? And I've got to plan out a couple more races, and I'm making it very skewed so that there's not much sense in picking certain races. But people are still gonna pick them, right? Because it's an RPG. You kind of pick what you want, and then like you make it work. And then like I did this thing, right? I made like dragon people, right? and they can range from being like full on like humans with horns and wings or whatever to like the dragon people you see in Baldur's Gate 3, where they're just full of scales and stuff. Like they're gonna have that much range, but like, and they have a really good stats and stuff, right? But they have a very obvious elemental weakness to a certain element, depending on what kind of creature dragon they're related to, right? Because like that's sort of how dragons work, or something. And then also, I figure there'll be a decent amount of like dragon slaying items, realistically, because like everyone's famous for killing a dragon, right? Like everyone who kills a dragon gets to be famous. So like while the dragon people themselves as like NPCs would be like semi abundant, they won't be like the player characters will kind of be like how do I say it's like the player character dragon people. I want to call them draconians, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't. That doesn't sound right. Dragonoids, but no. Dragonborns? Is that technically the name of the race? I don't know. I just think of the Dovahkiin from Skyrim when I say that. But but no, yeah, like like it's gonna be like I'm really trying to think about this, right? Like I want to make it very specific, right? So there are very specific things, right? Like you pick a race and you're stuck with it, right? Like there are no duplicating there's no like another character or whatever. Maybe there's like a class swap or something kind of I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. But like I'm just thinking like it would be interesting, right? Cuz like you have these dragon guys. They have insane stats, right? They're strong cuz they got dragon strength or whatever, and they're resilient because they got like they have some level of scales. Maybe like the level of scales they choose to have will give them more or less resistance to like either like physical or something. It's mostly physical. I don't know. Maybe they'll be relatively weak to magic. But right, but dragon people, they're also relatively smart, right? Because the dragons are like these ancient, really like near godly like figures, right? Because that's usually how dragons are portrayed, right? So like they're like dragons aren't stupid, right? They'll still repopulate and stuff, and then they have like the half dragons and such, right? But like because all dragons will do that thing where they can transform into people, basically. But like the people don't the half dragons don't have that ability, or they might gain it if they like do something special. I don't know. I haven't planned that far ahead yet. The dragons themselves are just like that. I was just using that as an example class because I thought it would be interesting, right? And it's like and I was thinking you got to make it like very specific, right? So there's this whole thing with like armor, right? Like you can wear a lot of armor, but you're gonna be slower, right? You can wear less armor and be faster, but you're more exposed, right? And you can wear like cloth clothing and stuff, and it's faster, but like doesn't provide as much physical defense or whatever. The whole thing, right? Like the whole thing. I'm going through. I'm being like this and this and this, and this is what I want for the Lord. This is what explains this and this and this. I am doing so much like planning phase stuff all the time with this, and it's crazy because like I haven't told anyone. You guys are the first people to know. There's not really anyone to tell because like it's just something I'm doing on my own anyway, and it's like I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I'll incorporate some of the people I know into it. Ooh, right. Well, I was kind of doing that anyway. It'll be fine. But oh yeah. As you can tell, I very much like thinking about it. And the interesting thing is, it's not really political related or anything. I don't know, because like I do talk about politics a decent amount, I think. Um, I say a decent amount. Like I don't talk about it a lot, but like if someone brings it up, I'll talk about it. Or like, and if I'm talking with someone who I know like would agree with my politics, at least if we're on the same side, like my mom or my dad, I might talk to them about it, or my grandfather. Like I might say something about it, but like I don't know. I don't really bring things up. I don't, not really. But no, yeah, I'm excited because this is something I just randomly decided to do, and then I just did it. And if I can just keep doing that and keep coming up with ideas while I'm at work with nothing else to do, it'll work and it'll be very great. I think. So I'm going inside now. As I said, thank you for listening to this episode. If you liked it, leave a like. And if you didn't, you don't have to. And if you have any ideas you want to give away for free, you are free to give me your ideas in the comments. Um, oh yeah, and there's this whole like racial social thing where it's like humans they have mid stats, right? They're like flat across the board, right? They're not really special, but like they're everywhere, right? Because they're sheer numbers, right? And so like if you choose human, you get like not like charisma or anything, but like you get like I don't know what the stats are gonna be. I don't know if there's gonna be like a lot of stats or like not a lot of stats, but like there's gonna be stats. Maybe substats. I don't know. But like as a human, you're way easier to blend into a crowd, or whatever. Because like there's a bajillion humans or whatever, and I gave them a different name. It's a shortened version of the word human, but it is a whole thing. And then like I've got demons and stuff I've been working on, and they're kind of similar to dragons, but they're more magic orientated. I still do have physical prowess, but I think they're more magical orientated. I don't know. But like people don't like them because they're demons and stuff, right? That's the whole thing. And so, like the world might be kind of simply sounding so far, but I got to figure out a lot more stuff. Like I have elves and dwarves and stuff planned out. I have a couple. There's like I have like it's funny. I have sea people planned out. They're basically well, they range from fish head to and human legs to like I don't know, like you know, an actual like mermaid or something, or maybe just like a fish that can talk. I don't know, but like there's gonna be like all sorts of them, but like one never sees them or like whatever, and it's gonna be a whole problem. Like you have to track down the mer person or whatever, but like it's really hard because they just look human for the most part. And then is that a hornet? I don't know. I'm gonna close my door. I don't know. This is like just like a whole thing, right? I don't think it'd be interesting, right? And a bug with blood in it. Suck something's blood. Hope it's not mine. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see what I can plan out for this, right? Like I'm jumping around. I'm writing backwards in like the my information book as well. I don't know why I'm doing that. I think it's because I have specific things planned for the front that I just haven't really done much of yet. But I've just been marking the pages that I've been working on this thing I've been talking so much about with a specific symbol, so to speak. Um, I don't know. Find it I find it to be entertaining. I find it to be something I can do with my brain. And if I can't think of one thing, I can think of like a different project, right? Like, because like, even if I'm doing the AI thing, I still got to figure out what I want the people to say for the thing, for the most part. And then I got to plan, like, cause like, I don't know, cause like that, like, at least one of the things is like vaguely planned on, based off of like a real life thing that happened. But like, I'm just gonna make like a little comedy bit, sort of, so to speak. I don't know. And this whole thing, and like I don't know, I want to make it's like a Scooby Doo parody, but I'm not gonna use the Scooby Doo characters. I'm just gonna make like not. I'm not gonna make. I'm gonna use people. I'm gonna use based people, and they're gonna they're gonna do like the Scooby Gang thing, kind of, and then it'll be funny, hopefully. Um, but if not, Don P. Bongwater's gonna yell at me. He's gonna erase me from existence, probably. Um, Cool guy though, good videos. If you're based, you'll like him. If you're not based, you'll hate him. Um, he's an AI creator. He's great. I like the stuff that he does. If you're not based, you won't like it. So don't watch it if you're not Republican orientated. Anyway, I'm actually gonna end it this time. So I hope you all have a great next 24 hours. Don't forget to leave ideas in the comments if you have any. Um, Try to remember the things that I said, because I said them, and I'm not going to share with you my actual notes. Not that you'll be able to read them, but I won't share them. And I'll see you all next time. I drive this podcast home. See ya.